Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nala Pududu and this is a secret life of my PhD where we talk all things productivity, motivation, education and high performance. So the past few weeks I've been a bit frustrated with my PhD. I've been busy with the chapter. I gave this chapter in for review about 2 months ago. I submitted it to my supervisors to review. And they came back to me with feedback. They had quite a few review notes. Now, when I submitted the chapter, I felt like this is brilliant. Like, this is some good work. I was like really proud of myself. I read it, I reviewed it, and I said, no, man, this, here they can't find fault. Anyway, they did, okay? And they found a lot of fault, okay? Now, there's nothing wrong with finding fault in my work. The frustrating part was I just didn't know how to address it, okay? So the biggest thing that came out in the review notes was that they were not hearing my voice. My supervisor read there, I can't hear your voice. What's your voice? Excuse me. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about this? And I thought, but hey, there's my thoughts. Can't you see it? I felt like that's what I had done, The other issue that they raised, main issue that they raised was I had given a lot of information and I felt like this is important to contextualize everything, okay? Historical background, current state of affairs. I felt like it's important. And they didn't understand why it's there, like why is that information there? And I felt like it has to be there. But I think my problem was I didn't articulate why. Or I didn't clearly articulate why. So that was the main thing with that chapter. And so what ended up happening is when my supervisors read it, they were getting a lot of just information overload and to them possibly very irrelevant things that are coming in there and more of an information dump. And I felt like it's not that. I really felt like it's not that. But point is, it is, right? Anyway, I got the feedback and I said, okay, let me start trying to address it. And guys, this is where the frustration started. I maybe it's arrogance, maybe I don't know what it was. I looked at it and I thought, I don't know how to improve this. I don't know what to do to achieve what they want me to achieve. There were other coaching notes or review notes that I felt like, okay, I can address, but these ones, I really didn't know. And at some point, I really just thought, no, they're being unreasonable. This is fine. There's nothing more, I really do feel like that. So anyway, I still tried, morning after morning, I'd wake up and see how I can approach a chapter in a different way or, change this paragraph or add whatever. But I really wasn't making progress. So eventually I just got so irritated. I thought, okay, Nolo, take a step back. Maybe the reason why you're not getting this is because you don't really know how you're supposed to write this chapter. I thought, okay, maybe let me spend some time reading up on how, maybe let me refresh my mind. And I didn't spend enough time really getting into how it's supposed to be, what are the components of the chapter. Maybe I'm missing some links. So then I spent, I really dedicated a decent amount of time, like a week, where I did, there was even on certain research websites, there were like some online courses that I did that were addressing like how to write the chapter, what is supposed to be included in this chapter, what are the key components in the chapter. I watched a whole bunch of videos, I did a lot of reading, and I felt like, okay, at the end of the week I really felt like, okay, I'm equipped now. I understand. And I actually got to see a lot of the areas where I understood what they were saying when they said, they don't understand why a certain section is there. I could actually see it like, okay, I wasn't communicating clearly. This is how I need to navigate my thoughts. Great. So I felt comfortable to get back into the work and start addressing those coaching notes or those review notes. I sat down this past Monday, saying, I'm going to attack this. And I felt now that I knew what I need to do, I didn't even think it would take me that long. Guys, Monday comes, Monday goes, I am still floating. Things are not moving with this chapter, okay? It's like when I get to it and I get to the laptop, it's like there's a freeze. Monday comes, Tuesday is the same thing. By the Tuesday afternoon, I was feeling so frustrated. I remember my husband said, just move away from the work and just take a break, just move away from it and go do something relaxing. He even suggested I go watch Gossip Girl, my favorite show. Like when my husband suggested, there's problems because he hates that show. So I just thought, no, I need to try and push this. Anyway, by the end of Tuesday, the evening, I hadn't achieved, in my opinion, I hadn't achieved anything, and I was getting even more frustrated. So that Tuesday evening, I was putting my baby to sleep. So I was giving her last feed for the night and putting her to sleep. So when I do that, recently what I've started to do is feed her in the dark, like complete dark, because like not even soft light, because she gets easily distracted. So I end up sitting in the dark with her while she's feeding, and I have to be quiet. I can't even play with her because I don't want to distract her. So those moments at night, it's really just me sitting with my thoughts, no phone, no nothing. And it goes on for about, we'll probably sit for like 30 minutes, maximum an hour, but definitely at least 30 minutes. So as I'm sitting there feeding her, I'm really thinking about the day. I'm starting to worry about this chapter because, I had a deadline. I didn't meet it because I couldn't move on this chapter. And I'm really getting frustrated with myself. Like, what's your problem, And I sat down and I thought, okay, did you learn anything today? And I felt like, no, I didn't learn anything. I'm just struggling. And then I remembered my video that I made where I said it's not struggling, it's learning. And I thought to myself, you know what? Right now, it's a struggle. And I calmed down. I thought, no, but really, are you not learning a single thing? Did you not learn a single thing? And I think I just needed to make myself feel better. And I sat down and I thought of eating, and I thought, okay, I did learn that. And I thought of something that I did learn. But the problem was it wasn't helping me for the chapter that was with. It was an incidental thing that I came across, and I was like, oh, that's great. But it's not helping me with the chapter. But I did learn it. And I thought, okay, you know what? You're going to run with this. This is what you're going to run with. You're going to run with the fact that you learned this today, and you're going to write it down. So I decided as soon as I put it down, I'm going to write down what I learned today. So I put it down, and I got my journal, which I never used. I haven't used in a long time. I used to journal a lot, but not anymore. And I wrote down the date. I think it was the 7th. Yeah. I wrote down the date, and I wrote down, today I learned this, and I wrote it down. And then I started to think about the stuff that's frustrating me. So I didn't stop writing with what I learned. I started writing down my frustrations, that I'm keep doing this and it's not working. My search strategy is not working, and I was venting, and I started venting about what's happening, and not so much about my emotions, but the work itself. That I'm trying this way, it's not working. I'm starting the paragraph like this, it's not working. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Then, as I started doing that, it's like my mind was talking to myself. My mind was talking to my mind. I then started writing, but why don't you try, maybe I should try it this way. So I then started stepping into a space of providing suggestions of different ways of doing things. I think I let out all that venting, all that mental blockage. And then I had an opportunity to start really writing what I think. And I realized I had a lot of things going on in my mind, because the moment I started writing, it was like a dump of all the things that are floating around in my mind. And then I got to a point where I feel like I was starting to achieve some sort of clarity, mental clarity, and I was starting to see some form of way forward. Long story short, at the end of that writing session, and guys, I thought I was going to sit down and write for like 5-10 minutes, and I ended up writing for almost an hour. At the end of that writing session, I had actually written down a very basic draft of how I think I should write the chapter. And I even had the words of what the chapter should look like, where I should start, and how I should flow. And I felt so much more confident after that session. I put the journal down and I went back to sleep. And really, I couldn't believe how, 2 hours earlier, I had been so frustrated that nothing is working. And I went to bed that night feeling like, wow, okay, I think I have this. Now, I would love to say, as we sit today, that chapter is done, it's complete, and it's perfect. No, it's not, okay? It's not, but I am not stuck anymore, right? I'm not stuck. So I'm still going a bit slow, but I am not stuck. I do not have that block. And guys, when that happened that night, I just remembered how much I appreciated journaling. I used to journal a lot when I was younger. I used to journal a lot, but not specifically about school and thoughts. It was more about my emotions and how I was feeling and what was bothering me. I used to journal a lot and let it all out, and it helped me maintain control of my space. Just hold on, my son is knocking. Ria, I'm recording. No, go and ride your bike. How much minutes? 30 minutes. Okay, bye. Sorry about that. So, I was saying, yeah, I used to appreciate how journaling would help me get maintain some sort of control over my emotions and thoughts, etc. And I miss that. And obviously, I mean, like now, I don't really have time to always. No, let me not say I don't have time. I don't make the time to sit down and journal. And maybe sometimes I feel like I don't need it. But guys, on Tuesday, I really, really needed it. And the way I felt after doing it, I thought, obviously, I must share it with my YouTube community. Because you know what? This is very important. A few weeks ago, I had a video on organizing your mind, and journaling is one of those things. And I didn't even mention it in that video, but journaling is one of those things to organize your thoughts, to achieve clarity. So there's a lot of research that talks about the benefits of journaling. Lots of psychologists, psychiatrists will recommend it for people when they're in therapy. It's a good way of just getting your thoughts down and thinking about your thinking. So journaling in itself, guys, there's many, many benefits to it. But I want to talk about it now just in terms of productivity, in terms of your education, in terms of your studies. Journaling can really help you get your thoughts aligned, achieve mental clarity, and the chaos that you sometimes feel, or sometimes you feel like you've got a block, like you're pushing against the wall and you really don't know what's stopping you from thinking forward. And sometimes what journaling I feel does, it breaks down that wall, and it puts those little bricks down that are in that wall. It puts them down on that paper, and you start to see a bit of organization in your thoughts, and then you're able to think and process and make sense of things, So I would really recommend that you consider it as a tool that you can use when you are feeling a bit disorganized in your mind, in your thoughts. I really recommend it. And with that being said, I just want to give you some tips of how to do it. Maybe if you've never journaled, I think most people have journaled, but if you've never journaled, you might find it a bit odd or icky, So I just want to give you some tips, all right? The first thing is, journaling is not if you think about journaling, you think about that teenage girl who writes in her diary, Dear diary, today I went to school and class was so exciting and I saw this person, it was so fun. It's not necessarily like that. That's a great that is journaling, a form of journaling, but that's not the only way to journal, all right? So it's not a dear diary thing and an emotional thing. It's really putting down your thoughts on paper, giving you an opportunity to reflect, an opportunity to think about your thinking. So number one, the tip that I have is don't attach like a target to it. Don't say, great, journaling is a great tool, I'm going to journal every day. No, I don't do that. Or I'm going to journal every week. I don't recommend that. I think have a journal, have it available, and remember that it's there. And when you need it, use it, right? So it's a tool that you use when you need it. If you end up journaling every day and it works for you, that's great. But don't create a target that's going to cause anxiety for you now because I didn't journal today, I must journal, and then you skip a day, you skip 2 days, and then you start getting frustrated that you didn't journal. So don't create anxiety around it. Just have a journal that you keep, that you use when you need it, all right? Number two, in terms of how to journal, like I said, we think of journaling as the Dear Diary setup, but it doesn't have to be that. Literally on Tuesday, when I wrote down what I learned, I just started and I just wrote down what I learned, So write the date. I think it's good to have the date. It helps you later on when you want to reflect. Write the date and then just start writing. Whatever it is that is on your mind, there is no right thoughts. There is no wrong thoughts. There is just purely your thoughts. Put that down on paper, and allow the journaling process to take you where it goes. So you may have started writing about your study session for today, or your day at work, or your day at school, and your mind may take you elsewhere. Allow your mind to take you there. Allow your mind to do that detox of just going through its thoughts and putting it down on paper, and then get to a point where it feels it's achieving a sense of organization. All right, so that's the second point, is that just write. It's not that big a deal. And then the third thing I want to suggest is, like, if you do need triggers, I don't think this is so important, because I really think if you just allow yourself to write, you can write. But if you do feel stuck, like you don't know what to write, use these triggers. Use the what, like what's the problem, or what am I thinking, or what was my day like? Just, what was this experience? Use the what to answer a what, or answer a how is this making me feel, or how does this bother me, that kind of thing, or why is this irritating me? So use those kinds of words, the whats, the hows, the whys, to trigger you, to get you to start thinking and start writing. But you don't have to use those if you just allow yourself to just write. So guys, I had to share this, the benefits of journaling. I think I'm going to go back to do it more. And also for research students, I think it's good for masters and PhD students, because you know what, you think a lot about your studies, you think a lot about your study and how it should be set up, and you change your mind a lot, you go through a lot. And I think by journaling, it helps you to just sort of develop a clearer path. I wouldn't say a clear path, but a clearer path of where you should go or where you are going. It just helps you to organize your thoughts. Really, that's what it does. So yeah, I just felt excited that I have to share this, guys. And just with regards to that chapter, feedback on that chapter, I decided that this coming Tuesday, the end of Tuesday, I'm going to submit whatever it is that I have for my supervisors to look at and then give me feedback, because I have been holding on to it just way too long. I think I should use the breakthrough that I got from journaling, write whatever it is I have, submit, and then get feedback, and then just move on. So yeah, that's just a bit of a side note there. But guys, thank you so much for watching my video. It is about journaling. I think it can be a powerful tool to help you organize your thoughts. So if you are experiencing a bit of a block, bit of frustration, try to use it and see if it works for you. Don't put too much pressure on it. It's not a challenge. It's really just journaling. Thank you guys for watching my video. I will see you next week. Bye.